Hey guys, I'm Shyam from Scar Studio. So today I'm going to show you guys how I created this scene. So this is actually a simple tutorial, and I'll be doing a more complex version of this in the future in my channel with more simulations and stuff. And some of you guys DM'd me on Instagram asking me how I created this, how I do my lighting, my materials, and the whole scene setup. So I'll be covering all of that in this video. So this might be a little long tutorial, so hang on with that. I'm still getting used to making tutorials while narrating. It's only been 3 months since I started doing tutorials on YouTube, so bear with me guys. And I hope you guys enjoy these tutorials. So I'm also going to be making a tutorial on my character animation process in the weeks to come, so stay tuned for that. And let's get on with the tutorial. So I'm going to select everything with A and delete with X. You guys can see the keys I'm pressing over here. So I'm gonna shift A, add a circle, and RX 90 in the numpad to rotate it 90 degrees, and tab into edit mode. I'm gonna select these vertices and GX. While pressing Control, I'm gonna move it so like there. And with the 2, I can go to edge select mode, select these 2 edges, go back to edge select mode and subdivide. Find the black box over here and increase the number of cuts to about 8. Tab out of edit mode and F3 and type convert to, and select curve from mesh. And now we have created a curve. So now I'm gonna add a cube, scale it with S, the Z axis with Z, scale it down, S, X, scale it in the X axis as well, scale it down a little more, and now I'm going to add a curves modifier, curve, and select the curve we just created, the circle. And now I'm going to add an array modifier and put it on top of our curves modifier, and select constant offset and make it something like this, 2.29, increase the count to about 58, looks good. So yeah, increase it so that it looks like it's close enough so you can't see a difference between all the gaps. So this looks good for me. So now I'm going to select, create another cube and select it with move it with G and in the Z axis while pressing Control so that it snaps into our grid, and close and GZ while pressing Control, move it down slightly so that it looks like it's on top of this object. And now with SX I'm gonna scale it a bit. So now I'm gonna press Control A and select apply scale. So scale comes back to 1. Now this along the x-axis. So I'm gonna add a keyframe over here. I add a rotation and scale, and I rotation scale, and move 100, move to the 100th keyframe, this GX somewhere around here in the 100th keyframe. Add another keyframe and do the same thing with this. So you guys can see the pivot point over here is over here. So if we can move the pivot point of this object to there, it would do. So GX, remove pivot point while pressing Control so that it's on the middle, and add a keyframe as well. So now if you guys play this, it looks like it's moving with the thing. I don't know. So alright, I'm gonna move 50 frames. So now it's 30, and I'm gonna add another 15. 30 plus 15 meters to the 150th frame, and add a keyframe so it won't stop. Alright, so we are going to only have 150 keyframes, so I'm gonna make the end keyframes 150. And also make sure you guys in the preferences make the animation default interpolation linear, and we didn't make it linear over here, so I'm going to animation and selecting all the objects over here, and I'm going to right click, make the interpolation mode linear. So all of this looks like so now we can loop it without any problems. Okay, now I'm going to add the cutting object somewhere over here. We create a plane, and our x 90, our y 90, rotated 90 degrees in the y-axis. Go back to side view with 1, move it while pressing Control somewhere over here. Now scale it up a bit, or scale it down so that it looks like it's on top of our object. So this might be our cutting object. So gonna add 2 loop cuts with Control R, and with the mouse wheel add the loop cuts, left click, Control R, add 2 loop cuts. So now let's go back to the first frame, and we'll add our cylinders. Create a cylinder, our x9, no, our y, sorry, our y 90, scale it down, scale it up in the x-axis a little bit more so that we can check how it looks. I'm gonna move it. It looks like it's in the middle of our cube. I'm going to add 2 loop cuts in the middle, 2 loop cuts over here. So now I can see that looks okay. So I'm going to scale it back down. Now with Control A, I'm going to apply scale. So now I'm going to move the cylinder here to this corner and add an area modifier. I'm going to hide this cube so that we can see what we are doing. Hide this as well. So make this 3 and copy it. First copy. So we have another array modifier. Make this 0. Make it something like 0.2. Yeah, it's 1.1, so we'll make it 1.1 as well. And now we have an array modifier. Add shade smooth, the normal angle, auto smooth. Now the whole thing is covering our, it looks like it's inside our cube. All right, now I'm going to add a path. We'll apply, so the scales seems to look fine, so I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to add a curve path and move it to the top and tab in edit mode. GX, I'm going to move so that the vertices start from the pivot point, and move all these vertices while pressing control somewhere here and start extruding. All right, so now I'm going to select this cylinder we just created, I think this one, and add a path, a curve modifier. Select the path we just created. Now with GX, move it. You guys can see it's moving, but you can see what's wrong with this. So that's because we don't have enough loop cuts in this. So I'm going to tab in edit mode, and with Control R, add a bunch of loop cuts with the mouse wheel. And now you guys can see it looks pretty cool. So with Alt G, I'm going to move it back to the place where it was. No, make it 0 in the x-axis. All right, and now going to add a keyframe with I, location, rotation, scale, and move 100 frames and make it 30. Insert a keyframe, 150, make it plus 15, so that's half. Insert another keyframe. So all right, now somewhere over here we have our cutting object. I'm going to hide this. I'm going to unhide the cutting on plane. So where is our plane? Okay, it's over here. So I'm going to select it and add a boolean. Select the Y object, the cylinders, and apply. So now we have our holes. And now I'm going to tab in edit mode, select everything with A, E to extrude, G, Y, G, X, and a little bit of depth, and shade smooth, normal, auto smooth. Right, it looks cool. Now I'm going to add a boolean. So that's going to be another cube. Move it over here while pressing Control G. Place it on top of our cutting object. GZ, move it down, scale it a slight bit, tiny bit, so it looks like it's covering the whole thing. And we solid go to this and viewport display, make it wire, and I'm going to tab into edit modes. Number 3, go to face select mode and press G, Y, and G, X, and move it back. Now I'm going to add, I'm going to unhide this cube. Select the cube, a boolean, select the second cube, so it looks a bit weird right now because the scale looks like it's quite similar to our cube, so I'm going to scale it a bit in the z-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so now if we play, we have to tab into the mode and move it a bit back more. Okie dokie, now it looks cool. So that's basically it for the main part of the animation. So now I'm going to show you guys how I do the material and the lighting and the whole scene setup. Okay, so we're going to start by creating a plane and put it somewhere below while pressing control because it snaps into our grid so perfectly and everything looks like it's on top of this. Now let's scale it. Scale S 10, we can do 20s 20 and scale it a bit more. Yep, it looks good. And Shift D, duplicate it, RX, move it to the back, Shift D, RZ 90, RZ90, and move it somewhere here, GZ. And now I'm gonna create my camera and with Control Alt 0, I place it somewhere here. I don't want to actually see what's happening over here in the back, so I'm gonna move the camera somewhere over here in the front because that's where the main part of the animation is happening. So I'm going to view and lock camera into view, and now the camera is locked to our view, so we'll place it. Don't actually see what's going on. We'll go to the first frame, and I don't want to see the cube in the first frame as well because when it's starting there should be nothing here because it's falling and there's no other cube coming from the back. So I'm gonna leave it like that, and I might scale it in the x-axis and I'm going to take it off now so that I can move freely and select this edge with 2, press or just select this and E to extrude, G, Z, pull it down, extrude. Now I'm gonna bevel it with Control B, add a bunch of loop cuts to the middle, and now should smooth. Okie dokes. Looks good. Yeah, it's fine. Go back to camera view. Looks good. You can save it as well if you want. Yep, looks good. So I'm gonna save it now. Think I might have it somewhere here. Okay, I'm just gonna call it S1. So now we're gonna fill the screen, fill the scene with some objects, right? So I'm gonna add cube, by move it somewhere over here, scale it up, scale the z-axis, scale the y, s, plus Y. Now width up and tab in edit mode and select this edge over here, Control B and bevel it. Now you'll get this black box over here. Select custom profile, and now in the presets select steps, and there you go, you have some steps. And you might want to play the segments, and there you have some steps. And I'm gonna do it the same thing again. Create a cube, GY, move some here, scale it up, scale it, and put somewhere here. Down and Control B. Let's add more segments to this one. Default. And now make it steps again. And now there you go. So what I did was I beveled the object, right? I'll show you guys how I did it again. I'll add another cube, GY, scale it, Z. So Control B. You guys can see this. We have 16 segments in this one, and the curve preset looks like this. So if we want to make the steps smaller, we might go back to default and increase the number of decrease the number of segments to maybe 6 or 8. Let's say 8, and then in steps, so we have bigger steps. So I guess that's how it works for now in Blender. So that's what I did. So I don't need this now. I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to add a sphere and move some over here. Scale it up, shade smooth, and leave it somewhere here. Now I'm gonna add some weird patterns so scene looks like it's occupied with some. So we are going to select everything and hide them. Select everything with A and hide. Now create a circle, RX 90, rotate it, tab into edit mode, press 1 to go to vertices, select mode, select the bottom vertices, delete them with X, select these vertices, shift D, duplicate them, control, move them down somewhere over here, and RX 190, rotate them, maybe move them a little bit more as well. Now select this to F, and now duplicate them, shift D, move it over here, F, and shift D, select these two, F, and there you go, you have this pattern. And now I'm going tab out of edit mode, press F3, type convert to curve from mesh. So F3, convert, object convert, okay? So object convert curve from mesh, and then there you have a curve. Now create another circle, tab into edit mode, and scale it down a bit. E to extrude, down, select everything with A, E to extrude again. This time I'm going to press S to scale and shift Z so that I won't scale it in the Z axis, but only the X and Y axes. Now scale it down, Control R to add 2 loop cuts, and select this loop cut with Alt, left click and scale it down a bit more, and F3 go to, no, just press 3 and go to face select mode, extrude, GZ, and 2 to edge select mode, scale it down, select this, E to extrude, GZ, top it up, shade smooth, auto smooth. Now scale it down. I'm going to add a curves modifier, select the second circle we created, Y, Z, yeah, Y looks good. Now I'm going to add an array modifier, put it on top of the curve, 0, 1, add a bunch, and let's do 100, and degrees, and there you go, we have a pattern. So now I'm going to unhide everything with Alt H. I should have moved this into a different collection. So before that, I'm going to M and call this wall pattern. Now Alt H, unhide everything, wall pattern, select these two and move it here. So that looks like it's on our wall. See whether we can see this in the camera. Yes, we can. Okay, that looks cool. Now we add another circle. We do here RX90, E, extrude, scale it down, add 2 loop cuts, select these faces, extrude them in GY, extrude GY, extrude S to scale it down, extrude GY back, and extrude, scale it up, extrude GY back. Going back to face select mode, select these faces and scale them down without scaling it in the Y axis. So S, shift Y, there you go. I feel like adding subdivision surface modifier to make it smoother, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to bevel all the sharp edges. So shade smooth, select auto smooth, go back to edit mode and select these edges and Control B. So you guys can see the preset has already selected, so I'm going to deselect custom profile, and there you go, we have our bevel. I'm going to decrease the segments as well, maybe 4 would do. Select all these edges and bevel them. So you can't bevel if there's no more geometry over here, so I'm gonna add extrusion and push it inside. Select this, Control B now. There you go. And yeah, this looks cool now. Gonna move it so that it looks like it's on our wall. All right. Okay, looks good. Now, so there's a plant over here in the original scene. That's actually a plant I downloaded from Mesh Blend Swap. So if you guys want, you guys can download, go to Blend Swap and search for plant, and you guys can download a pot and just search for something you can put in a scene. So we'll go to our shading now. So most of this is some simple materials. So I'm going to select this, add a new to the ground plane, and Control T. You don't need that. Going to add a noise texture. Increase the scale to about 300. Plug the vector, and plug the normal, and get a bump. Plug the factor into the height, and we have this. Now we're going to plug the object in. And there you have it. Now I'm going to change the color to red something. So this last one was all blue color, so this one I feel like going for red. So all shades of red. So this looks good. Now I'm gonna select this, add a new material, make it something a little darker red would do. And now select this object, create a new material, and what I'm gonna do is create another noise texture with Control Shift, see what we're dealing with, plug the color in, plug it in between, make it constant, increase the scale, make it 1 or maybe 0.1. Yeah, 0.1, so that it looks like we have two materials. And plug a mix shader, plug it to the factor, plug the BSDF, duplicate this, and if you guys are wondering how I move between these nodes with shortcuts, that's because I have edit preferences, the node wrangler add-on enabled. Add-ons, node wrangler add-on, enable it, so then you guys can use the shortcuts like Control Shift to view, no view shaders, something like that. Control shift. So there we go. Now it's all white, so I'm gonna make this a light red and the other one a darker red. This, make it the same red on the first one. This one, we add two materials for this as well. So it's going to be a gradient texture. Control shift to see how it looks. Add a color ramp, plug it, make it constant, make the white 0.5, and we'll have to rotate the circle or the texture. So I'm going to rotate the texture. Control T, make it object. Oh, just generated would be fine, easier since it looks fine. So I'm going to rotate it, maybe not in the x-axis. The y, yeah, the y. Let's make it 90. Yep, there you go. And now we can plug two materials in just like before. So let's add a mix shader, plug the factor, and we are going to plug two colors in this as well. A lighter red, a very light red, and sort of like that red. And this one we can make it a little more lighter because it looks too harsh. Okay, maybe we can leave this white. I don't know. So what I'm gonna do, this one is create let's see, a waterline texture. Control shift, plug it so that we can see what's going on. Control T and plug the object into the vector so that it looks like it's distributed evenly. And now we are going to add a color ramp. Constant, the white 0.5, decrease the scale and the white values. Yeah, this looks good. And what we're gonna do is the same thing we did before. Make shader, plug factor, white, shift D, plug, increase the metallic value and the roughness to 0. Okay, it looks like there's something wrong with this. I don't know. Okay, we plugged the alpha, so it should be the color. No, yep, it looks fine. Looks pretty cool. So I'm going to plug the same material. I'm going to call this dot pattern, and plug the same material into our next shader. So our cylinder. So I'm going to hide this for now, and I'm going to select the dot pattern. And there you go, we have the same material in these cylinders as well. So I'm going to make this a gold color, make this metallic. So metallic, something that is yellowish, goldish, greenish. So yeah, something like that. Attach that cute back. And that's it, guys. Let's go get into our scene and work on our lighting. So first of all, I always use an HDR map. I try to use one. So I've already downloaded a texture from HDR Haven. So let's go textures.com. No, HDR Haven. I've downloaded Adam Plains Bridge. So I'm gonna put that to our scene. Oh, it looks good. Have some cool reflections, and might decrease the strength to about 0.8. Now I'm gonna add an area lamp. Let's get it up. Go that wheel. Eevee GX. Put up. Let's get it up a bit more. Increase the strength to about 1000. Going to enable all these and shadow hide bit and RX RY rated a tiny bit. Now we might have to decrease the strength of our world settings a bit more. Yep, looks good. And I'm gonna make this material all fully reflective, so decrease the roughness. It'll make this white look good too. Fully white, and now duplicate this, Shift D, made all zeros, and rotate it in the X axis 90 over here. And I can scale this light bit like that. Add another point lamp, move it somewhere here, so we have some light over here in the back. And increase the strength of 500 or something like this. Now I'm going to add our light probes. I'm going to add a reflections cube map, scale it up, GX. Now I'm going to add a volume, irradiance volume, and scale it up. Place it in the middle, and now I'm going to bake our indirect lighting. That's it, guys. So if you guys make this tutorial, tag me on your work so I can see them maybe and leave some feedback as well. So follow me on Insta. I'll be posting more of my work there before I upload tutorials, and I have a lot of videos like this in my channel, so you guys can check them out as well. And I'll be making 3 videos a week, mostly character modeling videos and animation loops like this. So on Mondays, make sure you guys catch those animation loops, and the rest of the week I'll be posting more character modeling videos. So if you guys want to learn how I created this sci-fi hallway scene, you guys can click here, and if you guys want to create more animation loops like this, you guys can click the playlist over here. So thank you guys for watching this tutorial. If you guys liked it, leave a comment and subscribe to this channel. So thank you guys, see you in the next one. Peace.